Do you actually know what episode number it is? I'm really excited.
I have no clue.
Me neither. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Pit Against Say Flesh and Blood, a live call-in show. I'm William Table, next to joined by Consequence, Kevin Smurph. Kevin, what's up? Pit Against is a live call-in show. If you'd like to be live on air talking to us about your take, join the Pit Against Discord by clicking on the link in the description. Then join the waiting room channel. Put your hot take in the topics text channel. If you like your take, we'll pull you on for a mic check and then put you on air. You can also put a take in the topics text channel in the stream chat or in the comments for me to bring up if you can't make it on. Clip that. That was awesome.
Nailed it.
How are you actually doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Working on a bunch of stuff. Working on spoiler video.
Spoiler video. Let's go. I'm excited.
Waiting to get the rest of the set. We have the BNR now, so we just need to see what the set looks like, and then we start working on PQs and Worlds.
PQs and Worlds. Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all I've been doing is just taking in the internet, right? Because the bans happened and everyone's got opinions. You know, some are really interesting and nuanced, and some are they said them. So
They sure did.
yes, they sure did. And I've just been taking it all in, and I've been enjoying this last week of reading their takes.
Reading
honestly,
the internet.
reading the internet. Yeah. I guess, is there anything you wanted to start with?
Gordon?
Start with Gordon?
Yeah.
My wife's freaking out. She loves Gordon. No, is there a take you wanted to start with, or do you want to start pulling in callers?
I don't think there was anything I wanted to
Start right off with. There's been no new cards technically spoiled since the last video, so
not
nothing to
technically.
go over there. Not technically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, we'll do that. This is going to be like a real short thing because we don't want to talk about it too much. But like, leaks happened. A bunch of cards got leaked.
Yep.
You don't need to go look at them. They'll be spoiled in their own time.
If you don't want to, don't.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna talk about it, spoiler tag it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna post a picture of
Be
it, spoiler
appropriate.
tag it. That's it. And
People-
don't just post them publicly and like
Yeah. I haven't.
just
Well,
be a pain. Like,
I
come
haven't
on.
seen that personally, where someone's posting them publicly. But I've heard more than one person tell me that has happened. So
I had one server where somebody just dumped all the cards.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I wasn't the biggest fan.
And it's extra sad. Please make a Crouching Tiger Gordon t-shirt. Maybe like a Pets t-shirt. We get pup.
There's a really good
Okay.
Gordon emote for you to use for that.
Oh yeah, we have the Gordon. There's a Gordon emote. We could do the Gordon emote as a t-shirt. What'd you say?
We could.
Do it. Rachel says do it. Assistant producer on the show, Rachel, is telling me to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Leaks happened. It sucks. And I think the part that sucks the most about it was the way in which the leaks happened. Product was stolen and then just opened. And I think there was a post that was talking about how this person like posted it on Reddit because he was trying to figure out the value of the cards because he didn't play the game. And I'm just like, they got the most brain dead thief stole the cards. It's so upsetting, actually.
Yep.
Gordon, you're such a good boy. I hate to say this while you're holding Gordon, but do you want to bring in our first caller?
Yeah, sure.
He can multitask. If you're listening to audio only, you're missing out on Gordon, Kevin's cat, who's being a sweetheart. But also, you're missing out on being live on air. We're pulling in a caller right now, and that could be you. You could be calling in. Sounds fun, right? Being on air live, talking to Kevin, talking to LSS's favorite, Kevin. Looks like we have a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Craig. I'm calling from Pittsburgh. Also go by Poopy. cute little pet name. Gave it to myself. Anyway,
cute.
Yeah. So my take is that that they should have overcorrected with LL bans.
Okay.
And I actually went and read the banned and restricted announcement again, because I wanted to know more of what they said about Deadwood Dirge, and basically they said Viserai got an armory deck, and it's in there. Like that's kind of how it read. It's like 2 sentences, and it's like Chain's fine, and Viserai got this in his armory deck. But the Tipple ban actually really like lays out a lot of thought as to why they're banning that, and I think that what they should do before an event like Worlds is overcorrect so that people, if you're going to Worlds and you want to bring RuneGate Chain, it sucks if 2 weeks before they ban Deadwood Dirge, right? So I think I'd rather see more aggressive bans now, and then it's LL. There's going to be decks that do broken things, so expect that at Worlds, and then just have them, I'd rather see something unbanned or unrestricted closer to November than 2 weeks before what really feels to me like the premiere of competitive LL. Even though we've had callings, this feels like a different level of recognition for LL. I still think they did a great job with the banned and restricted announcement. I like that Deadwood Dirge is unrestricted, but I think that they should have used a heavy hand now so that it doesn't feel as bad for players later.
I have a quick question, I guess, for both of you. I kind of want to hear both your answers. When it comes to a meta, is one typically more impactful than the other, a ban versus an unban?
Entirely context dependent. Entirely depends on the card and where the meta is at. Because, like, Germinate being unbanned is probably not going to do that much relative to Gravy losing Golden Tipple. But if you had banned Reaping Blade, then that's like a way more impactful hit to Florian, but also doesn't move the meta at all. I guess I would have a clarifying question here, which is, when you say heavy-handed, does that mean banning more stuff, unbanning more stuff, or both?
Because there's already a bunch of cards
I think
restricted.
Specifically restricted. I wouldn't. Yeah, I think specifically restricting more cards. There's 2 I have in mind based off of that. Like, I think Briar and Ira were the pretty like clear leads, and now getting Deadwood Dirge back. I think the card that I first think of that should be restricted would be something like Snuff Out. If they're really worried about Runeblade, that's not a card that takes away the major play style of any deck. But in both Briar and Chain, it is essentially a 1-for-5 go again on hit discard a card, because the condition of destroying an aura, Briar just meets it by hitting. Briar meets it by hitting, and Chain makes it, it's trivial because you got the soul shackles, right? So they want to bring Viserai back. They want to be able to like have more heroes participate. So finding these cards that like people are taking advantage of in ways that maybe they weren't intended to be. Whereas like something like Force of Nature, that's like a Briar spec. That's what Briar wants. Taking that away is a hit to Briar. When I think of like a heavy-handed ban, it's just saying like, here are cards that, maybe multiple heroes are using in a way that is too powerful for what they think they should be able to do. And then with Ira, something like, and I know this hits assassins unequally, but like, up sticks and run. That's something I could see taking a ban, because there are other cards that retrieve, pick up the point retrieves. Your dagger's going to still be able to be broken when you swing it the next time, So I think that there were opportunities for them to curb the power level of the decks that were winning. The area that I'm lacking information from LSS is what they think that the meta as it was during skirmish season was looking healthy? Are they happy with Briar being the best deck? How do they feel about counterplay? Those are things that they didn't go into at all. So it really feels like I don't have enough information, but I would have preferred them to scale back the cards that are legal and then say, if we think that this was an overcorrection, you will have this, this banned and restricted announcement 2 weeks before. So, if it is something like Deadwood Dirge, where they're like, hey, we think chain is actually fine, I would rather have those kind of things up front, like they did with the Tipple ban. They say, like, we think this is enough. If it's not, we're going to come back to it. Gravy might lose other things.
Yeah.
He might get this back. Even though that's, like, not a definitive answer, I think not providing that for LL made me more nervous for what the bans will be in Philly. Whereas if they took a bunch of things back and they were like, for the next 2 months, you're not going to be practicing with up sticks and run, and then maybe you can have it back, then at least people who play Ira are able to figure out what that deck looks like. And I think that, like, it's just a little unfortunate that they don't give us as much insight as I want, as, like, what are those cards that you're looking at and saying, hey, just so you know, maybe in November this is on the chopping block. Like, they've done that with Call to the Grave. They've mentioned that in previous ban and restricted announcements and saying, hey, we're thinking about this card. Just know that this is on our minds. I would like for LL before Worlds for them to say, here are a few cards on our mind. Here's where our head is at about the metagame. And hopefully they do a dev talk and tell us what they think of the metagame.
Yeah. Okay. So that I firmly agree with, that I don't feel like I know where LSS wants this metagame to be, or if they really think this is a healthy meta, just from how little they've talked about LL and how much they've communicated about it, especially in the BNR. I think we are sorely overdue for a dev talk, not just for this, but for multiple topics. I think it's been like 3 months or something since the last one, or 2 months at least. And
isn't Majin Bey a dev?
No.
I thought those were dev talks.
He is not a dev. They are sure not dev talks, believe me. He has said that he gets some of that information when we do. And some of it he gets like the day before the episode is supposed to go up.
You know what I appreciate about our little show here? I'm getting off topic. Is no facetiousness can fly. There's no sarcasm that's allowed to hang in the air. It's immediately no. We're gonna.
Nope.
We have to.
I don't let you. I don't let you be sarcastic.
Yeah, same. We don't let that fly. I love that. You were talking. I interrupted. What were we? Dev talks.
No, I think they have not. I don't see quite the vision for LL as a format, because this feels fairly similar to the way the Leal meta felt looking back, where like Briar is very clearly the benchmark, and there's a bunch of other decks like poking at the edges but not really breaking in, where it's like you kind of have Ira where you had Viserai, and then you kind of have CYB decks where you had Prism, but Briar's just like,
this is a good parallel, actually.
It really does, like, looking back, feel like that meta and the way people... Because I wasn't, like, super ingrained with the game at that point. I'd been in the game for a month. But, like, the way people talked about that meta was, like, it was just Briar. Briar was the answer. And, like, if you weren't playing Briar at, like, the top level, or, like, you needed a good reason to not be playing Briar. Which, like, that feels like this LL meta, because Briar just has so many cards, and it's like, even if they had hit, like, maybe not even Serenade, but, like, Regrowth Shock, if they'd hit Purgatory, and given back Husk, probably, at the same time. Like, just, like, a little bit. I don't know if they should restrict upsticks. That might be a little too much, because that is just a 9 of in the Ira deck, and the Ira deck might just go. But, like, if they restrict needles so you only have 1 needle, like, that also takes 1 damage away every turn and makes blocking way easier for some decks.
I think the only I've heard people say restrict needle as well, and I think that like the only problem I have with that is like the deck building requirements of a Kodachi are just like not, like most of your deck can stay the same. Yes. Most of your deck can stay exactly the same. But I actually do wonder if that hurts her.
I mean, you lose and value per turn, which is kind of huge.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's like the biggest issue. I think the actual issue at that point is like if you don't have retrieve when it gets broken and then it gets gravekeeping, then you just like lose the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they wanted to go another way and like get rid of one of the retrieve cards or like color limit up sticks to red or something. Like, sure.
I think what makes me say that I would rather see them like I would rather see these things like a needle restriction or an up sticks than not, though, is that I think that most LL events that I know of are going to be played at the armory level until Worlds.
Yes.
Or they're going to be played like
locally.
Just pickup games locally. And so those are, I feel like that testing is a little bit more flexible. You can, I think there's more room for like, oh, I'm just fucking around and seeing, whereas like if there were a LL calling that I was going to tomorrow and I'm not, a hyper competitive player, without testing, I'm just going to kind of default to what other players are having success on. Like net deck, essentially. I'm going to kind of go like, hey, I don't have all the time to figure out what works, what doesn't. So I think that like I would rather, if there's not going to be major events that people are doing before Worlds, I would rather go, hey, let's restrict the players for a while. And then I guess, I'm coming up with counterpoints while I'm talking, but then where do they get data from?
Yeah.
Yep.
And which I guess mainly my point now is just give us a dev talk. Yeah. Tell us where you're at, LSS.
Just I think that is the biggest thing is like I don't quite see the vision. Because like if Chain gets to come back, like what does that change? Like Briar's just gonna become like slightly more aggressive and try and kill Chain in 3 turns before Chain can like really get going. And then RuneGate Chain with Dirges is just gambling on their banishes. And like Briar's deck velocity, if you run Belittle, Nimby, Regrowth, Serenade, like is just kind of insane. Because they're tutoring like a card every turn on average. Like,
yeah, I mean, I faced a plunder or a snatch the other day that on hit drew 3 cards and my hand was a bunch of chi. So it was just, Briar does Briar things,
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
So,
but like,
yeah,
I think it is just like, I don't know what their path forward is at the moment. It's just, this feels testing. Like they missed. It feels like something is missing. But
so you don't feel like this is me speculating based on what I read and just kind of saying these things without putting an incredible amount of thought into it. But it's like, so you don't think that the short-winded LL ban implied that they think the meta is healthy?
What I find weird about the idea that the LL meta is like healthy and therefore unban or unrestrict Deadwood Dirge is that Runeblade, like a Runeblade was on the top, and then it's like now unban or unrestrict a Runeblade card. I know they do different things, but it's like it just seems like it seemed like that wasn't the motivation. It really felt more to me like the motivation was just like Viserai and Vincent need this, and I think they kind of want to just say, I think they're trying to lean away from there being heroes in LL where you go, oh, you just cannot play that because a key card in their kit was banned for some other hero, like the Bonds of Ancestry and Zen situation. Sure. Like, I don't know if they'll ever fix that, but I think they are trying to that was my first impression, was just they're trying to make it so that your pet deck is still in the game.
Yeah. I don't think this really, like, this does not move the meta. This is not a ban that moves the meta. This feels like the Germinate unban, where it's just like, we're going to give you back this little funny card. You can kind of do some stuff, but you're not going to get Cull back. You're not going to get Succumb back. You're not going to get Husk back. Like, you're not back, but like, you can have like one of your little toys back, and that's fine. But it's like, this really doesn't feel like a meta shakeup in the way that the CC ban list did, where the CC ban list was very clearly, we are maintaining this format. We are stewards of this format, like taking care of it and maintaining it, and like having an active hand in the way it works and ensuring that like things aren't just like completely degenerate.
I'm gonna take a quick second and just, I think I forgot to reiterate this, right? So the reason it matters so much to us that LL be curated like CC is because it's going to be a Worlds format, right?
Yeah, it's going to be streamed for at least 6 rounds and some amount of top 8.
Yeah,
where everyone in top 8 is going to play one LL game per best of 3.
Yes, so it is
if you're good enough at LL, Betsy can win Worlds.
Yes. Wait.
If you always choose LL,
I think you also need to be good at Betsy in order to get first seed to make sure that you can play nothing but LL and top.
Betsy has to be good enough for 9 rounds of CC at least, and you have to win 6 of them, and you can lose all the ones in top 8. But yeah.
There is a world where she wins Worlds.
Yeah, I mean the math was you can go 6-6 on your CC deck and give it LL points.
I don't know if you can quite go 6-6 against the people who are going to be participating at Worlds with Betsy.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yes, at a skirmish. No, at Worlds.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, obviously we want CC to be handled with as much care as possible. So it doesn't feel like every time an LL game is being played at Worlds, it feels like, you know, there's too much variance, or there's too much like non-game, or however it is. Like, we want LL games to feel as good as the CC games.
We want it to feel like that. This is going to be the analogy. We want it to feel like Legacy.
Yeah.
Not Vintage, I guess.
Oh, actually.
Is probably the... Well,
and they really showed with like CC, I think something that like frustrates someone like me is like they showed with CC a real like they're in tune with the player base. They know what it feels like to sit across like Bombs of Agony with Go Again. They know what it feels like with just like the constant gold generation. They saw how people were feeling about Light Up the Leaves and everything. And then LL, it kind of made me feel like I'm clueless about LL. I'm clueless about LL. I really don't know the meta.
Sure, yeah.
They felt like they were like, yeah, same. We don't, you know, and like it would have been a comfort. I don't think they made any mistakes, but it would have been a comfort for them to just be like, this is what we are learning from the data, or maybe not even this is what we are learning from the data, but this is what we're expecting at Worlds. And we are happy with that. We are, you know, comfortable where it's at.
I have to say, I don't love that they only publish the LL data at the end of skirmish season, while they were posting Blitz data week by week.
They did do that, didn't they? I didn't even realize. Actually, what it was I forgot about the LL data.
Well,
I was just seeing the Blitz week over week.
Would those shorter time windows give you more insight? Would like week to week give you more?
It just makes me wonder how much they're looking at it. Like, it's not inherently going to say that they're not looking at it, but like,
But it's also like
why did they do that? Are they?
Yeah.
Because you can LL in a weekend, right? You can still LL in Blitz and then not be legal next week, right?
Sure, that's fair.
Okay.
That is a reason to do Blitz every week. I don't think that is a reason not to do LL every week.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I think both are good points. I think it is interesting just to keep going on what y'all are saying is like with CC there was most people would be like, I guess that makes sense if nothing happened.
There was very clearly a tension there.
Yeah, it's like everyone was like, this meta is good enough. If they said nothing, then that's probably fine with me. But they still curated. Yeah, we wouldn't be surprised, but they still curated it. They were paying attention to it so much. They were like, actually, we can tune these dials just a little bit.
To me, this was one of the most hyped ban and restricted announcements because of the Living Legend point change and them saying, hey, we are going to take not a heavy hand, but we are going to be more proactive about these things. So I was really ready to see, put your money where your mouth is, ban Tipple, or, swell, or do something about this deck. And then for them to come out and say, hey, we actually disagree when it comes to data that this is the most winning deck, but we do agree what it feels like. And that kind of that was to me what this I was mostly excited for this ban and restricted announcement to set the tone for what it is going to, what kind of communication we are going to get around BNRs in a post LL modifier fab.
Yes. Yep, I agree.
No, I think it's a good point. Well put. I also think about things. The point lost me as I was trying to say it. So I just want you all to know that.
You had it, and
I had it, dude. It was right there. Now I'm upset. I think okay. So here's the actual problem with all of this. Is they still have time before Worlds to make bans for LL and really tune the format. When's Kevin? Real quick. When's the next ban and restricted for Living Legend? CC Flesh and Blood.
It's November 3rd, 11 days before the World Championships.
That's what.
And I think someone should make that their alarm for November 3rd when they wake up in the morning. It's 11.
It's also going to be
November 3rd.
It's also going to be at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So we're going to be -1 day on it because they posted the last one at 5 p.m. or whenever it was, or
the reason this is a big deal is because obviously people want to prep and be as prepared for the format and understand it and test it and make sure that they have a grasp on it so that they have any amount of competitive edge and don't get gotcha'd by something, or somebody finds this crazy deck and nobody else does, and it can lead to a lot of weird feels bads.
I understand that. I think the main point against that argument, and I am on the side of that argument of I'd rather have more prep time, is everyone is still on the same playing field.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
everyone has the same opportunity. Everyone will have the same amount of time. It is not a competitive integrity thing.
Yes. Okay.
It is I would prefer to have more time to prepare for the event. And
yes, but make that argument to the person whose deck gets hit.
Yes. I would want to have more time to prepare for the event.
Yeah.
So if my deck gets hit, I'm not just
cards.
Unlucky.
I can, I'm not only, hypothetically flying across the country, across the world to a major event that I'm going to spend a ton of money at, not just to get there and to have a hotel and whatever, but also, it's and then also that costs time. And so it's
I'm using my only PTI to play Worlds.
Yeah.
I would like to not have it randomly pissed away.
Not only PTIs, you're using PTO. Like you gotta, like it's a commitment.
Even more valuable.
You're flying to Philadelphia. People are flying from, out of the country, and if your deck gets banned a week before, even though you did have the same amount of time knowing this information as everyone else, like you're saying, getting the cards, all those things. So I think everyone knows the problems with if your deck just gets like its legs pulled out from under it right before the event.
And I think some people are a little more cynical on this point that I'm going to make, but I think it is true is that LSS thinks that's kind of secondary to the excitement of it's a fresh format, nobody knows what to do, which works better with a new set than a ban list, unless your ban list is insane and hits everything. Like if they dropped this ban list on November 3rd for CC,
yes,
and all the top decks are getting hit, then it's like kind of fair, quote unquote. But it's also like,
but it's also a card game, and like half of a card game is like,
but everyone's deck choice is upended.
You show your skill not only in sequencing and playing cards, but also in deck building and deck construction, meta targeting, silver bullets.
They just want you. They want you to do that with 11 days instead of 18. And I think you lose. I think Runaways pointed this out. You lose at least 4 days in there because of work or travel or whatever. So you have 7 days.
Actually, it's
to
funny.
Figure out the deck, get the cards.
I need to buy a PTI. It's funny because I lose almost zero time over the 11 days because I could use PTO and someone else is driving me, somebody else is hosting the room, someone else is dragging me around by my ear all weekend. So like I'm going to be the most babied person at the event. I should be participating in Worlds. I'm going to have more time than anybody.
Yeah.
I have the competitive edge now.
I mean, honestly, though, if you're flying in from Japan and your deck gets hit, like you have time to borrow a deck. Like that's kind of
true.
That's about all you have time to do. Is like ask who has a deck they're not going to be running. I mean, even if you're on a team with a lot of resources and stuff, this is like,
how much of your team gets hit?
How much of your team gets hit?
Do you have everyone on your team on that deck and so all of you get hit? Who are you borrowing cards from?
Min-max.
Buying. Yes.
Yes. It's rough out there.
They did start doing free armories a while ago. Maybe they'll do an IOU system at Worlds. Right? Just
listen, man. I'm gonna get top 8, and when I get top 8, don't worry about it. I'll get the money back.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play well if I don't have a Marvel, please.
It's what I test on. I need, frick.
Yeah.
That's so
funny. I don't know. I would rather this ban list have been a little more. I agree. I think this ban list would have been better served, or the game would have been better served, if this ban list was a little more LL forward, or we just had more information. If there's still something they think we have missed, have left unexplored, whatever, like, communicate to us what's going on, because I have not. People liked this LL format at first, and it has fallen off rather quickly.
Oh.
In terms of community sentiment.
Or they just
it is not the most.
Yeah.
It is not the most fun we've had with LL. We've had some very fun LL formats. We actually have.
Mm-hmm.
This is not one of them for most people.
As someone not. Go ahead.
No, you.
It is not the highest agency format that we've had, and it doesn't feel like a decent number of the games feel like games that you go back and forth, but at the same time, it's just kind of a two ships passing in the night a lot of the time, which is just because it's like
DOs.
That's Briar with CMH. Dio with System Reset Processor Octane combo,
Zen with
and
Zen.
then Zen with Art of War Stubby Hammers combo. Like,
there's other decks, but also
there are, but they are a clear step to step and a half down from the top like 3 or top 2 even.
Gross.
Probably top 3, but
yeah, I would just say, my last point, I'll let you guys move on to someone else, is like, as someone not fully in touch with the community sentiment, not really, I've been testing Zen into Icelander for, with my buddy, just because those are the 2 decks we have in LL, right? As someone not in touch with that, I don't know if heavy-handed is what was needed, but I do know that a dev talk is like what I feel like is needed now. I need to hear from the team and get some information about how they're feeling, what's the direction they want, and what is their best case scenario for LL at Worlds. Do they want to see every deck represented, or are they happy with every other game in the top 8 being a Briarmere?
I want Tekla in top 8 at Worlds, or I'm rioting.
Give me the cards. Sheesh. No, I would never. Top 8 worlds on Tekla, not play Tekla.
I would
never top it. Good God forbid.
Couldn't catch me on camera with a man.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. I'll let you guys move on to.
Hey,
some other callers.
we appreciate it. Is there anything you want to shout out? Like our merch?
Yeah, dude, the merch sounds so good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at it and I go, dang, I gotta get that.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite one right now, real quick?
Oh man, you said the Spectra one, right? Oh yeah. I love that Fresh and Buds shirt you're wearing.
Actually, I am. I'm wearing my Fresh and Buds shirt. Yeah, heck yeah. You cannot get that in my store.
I do want to shout out. You guys were talking about like crazy, horrible names before. I work with someone whose last name is Derry, and her first name is Legend. So her name is Legendary, and I think that's pretty bad.
Oh, are they funny?
That's got. Honestly, I'm gonna sound like such a dick now. They are a child. They are a child, so I don't know. But
oh no.
Oh no. Of course they haven't grown. They're not over 18. They can't be because they had to change their name.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's so much. Well, anything else you want to shout out that you do in your free time?
Dude, I play Flesh and Blood, and I get mad at Flesh and Blood. That's what I do in my free time. Yeah, no, nothing. Thanks for having me on, guys. It was great chatting with you.
Thanks so much for the call. We'll catch you next time.
All right. Yeah, take care, guys.
All right, that was nice. Shout out to the Spectra shirt. I don't know. I don't know. My hope going into it was, LL's got such a tiny ban list, it must be fine. But I've also seen some LL games where it wasn't as fine. But
yeah, it's not the best format.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fine.
Sure.
But yeah.
Still talking about bans. I guess there has been a lot of talk of bans on the internet.
Sure.
Yeah. A lot of very heated opinions on bans, right? Well, I mean, there always is. Passionate. Yes, passionate. Passionate people on bans. How do I want to take this, right? So it's like, it's just people take these bans on the internet, not sensationalized, because I've definitely seen the sensationalized ones, where they're just really offended by bans. These are personal attacks on them.
They take it personally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They know that's not. Yeah. Go ahead.
As someone who has had cards from your deck banned,
more
grass.
shirt pointing out.
Like,
hecking got him.
Like, just chill, please. Give it like 10 games. Try instead of just sitting there complaining and just yelling into the void on the internet. Like, I hate people who are complaining just because they're upset because their funny card got banned. Speaking of, none of these decks are gutted and dead. None of them.
So funny cards rather. Your funny card got banned.
Yeah.
The big funny card to me was Bonds of Agony, right?
Yes.
Is that the biggest ban? I mean, typical being probably the.
I think they're actually pretty close.
They're pretty close.
Because Bonds is a card that you kind of did build your deck around of when you draw Bonds, you need to be able to resolve it.
Yes.
And there was a concession that they made that they wanted to keep Take Up the Mantle over Bonds of Agony. And I think that is a probably healthier decision for the game because Take Up the Mantle existing says you don't want cards like Bonds of Agony. But like you can still take up the mantle for Mark of Black Widow or Persuasive Prognosis. Both of those play patterns, by the way, are much more manageable or less feels bad experiences for the person on the receiving end.
And it's like it still does. You can still do funny things, like very funny things, like blue card into Take Up the Mantle into Persuasive Justinic.
Yeah.
Or even a blue card Justinic into Mantle into a red card. It still gets the Justinic
into Mark
buff.
of Black Widow for 8.
Yeah. It's like there's still funny things you can do that break the math of all you have to do is block 6 on Assassin.
Yes.
With Mantle,
for sure.
Without being backbreaking, because Bonds was steal the best card out of their hand and then all of the copies out of their deck. And if it was rampant growth, you win the game.
Nick Mantle into a red is 11 still.
Because it's 3
+ 5 + 3. Because Mantle is a +3.
Yes, Mantle is also a +3.
Like
yeah. Listen, also, unrelated, if you're taking out Justinic, currently, I think that's crazy. That card it's too strong. Also, even just Persuasive Justinic is a 2-card
It's a very good 2-card hand.
It's a 2-card hand, and it's a 2-card combo, which is something we've talked about before, where it's like, you can put 2-card combos in your deck. It's when it gets to be like 3-card combos that you're being unreasonable.
Yes. So like Bonds of Agony being gone is totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
It is healthier for the game. The same way that banning instant speed hypothermia was healthier for the game.
Yes.
Strictly. There's a reason hypothermia was freaking restricted in LL.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just is what it is. And then Icelander continued to go on and still be one of the best decks for an entire year after that ban.
I'm sure Slippy will be just fine. He'll probably still be the best assassin at least, right? So
I think he'll be the most consistent assassin.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want a solid pressure assassin, you're going to build more around Mark of Black Widow and like some extra, maybe a little bit of extra like Mark focus. And then you're going to have Marionette, who's going to be like dagger Mark focus instead of like head jab Mark focus.
Yeah.
Marionette might be better because it has just a higher ceiling and just better numbers. But like, I think you're fine. You still get Kiss of Death and you can flick Kiss of Death with Spike of Bloodrot on it.
Yes.
Like, you're going to be fine.
Did that last night, actually.
Here's what they did. You have solid, consistent ways to convert 4-card hands in Slippy. You no longer get that with Disruption. You're now a regular aggro deck. You're now on the same playing field as everyone else.
I mean, you
weren't before.
No, you weren't. You still get
But yes, the level of disruption is still higher than Syndra.
Yes.
But your numbers are toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually like roughly similar degrees of Syndra gets this much better numbers and you get this much better disruption.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's actually close now, rather than just Syndra gets this much better numbers and you get this much better disruption, because BANS with Mantle is a degenerate play pattern.
It's almost like,
it's funny.
Yeah, it's like you get reactions, she has Rupture. You get disruption, she has Flick Knives, and she can just flick knives every single turn, right? So
because you can't flick knives every turn.
Yeah.
So like,
Slippy's still a deck.
I think it will be fine. Slippy will still be no lower than tier 2. I would be surprised if he wasn't an assassin you had to plan for. And Gravy also getting hit in a very significant way is going to help you too. You probably do better into Gravy now. Maybe. Depends on how Gravy adapts.
It depends on how Gravy adapts. I've heard...
Because if they go plus 6 D-reacts over the tipples, then yeah, you're going to have a hard time into that. But, like, your Gravy also took a hit. He did. Because... And it's really interesting because, like, everyone was, like, looking at, like, Swell versus Tipple, and it's like, Tipple is definitely the engine of the deck because it discards an ally when you play it, you get a gold to discard an ally, and you're going to get to Hook for free to discard another ally. And I don't think Hook is busted. I think Hook is very fine. I think it's when you get to play Tipple for 9 Tipples for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you make 12 gold minimum plus then chart the high seas that Hook becomes a problem. When you have like 15 gold on average per game, that's when you have a problem.
So we had an armory last night, and I played Slippy, and the first game I played with Isolate because I forgot about blue Bloodrot Pox. Because I was just like...
Blue Infect?
Blue Infect, that's it. Blue Bloodrot Pox. Because I was just thinking, like, Isolate into Justinic into Mantle sounds funny. Because
that sounds pretty nifty.
Yeah, that sounds pretty nifty. But it's probably just the Pox one. It's probably just Infect. And then there was a couple of Gravy games that were played because there were 2 Gravies at the Armory where they just didn't make a gold. Like the whole game. Like they made like... I think one of them made like 1 in one game and one of them made 0 in one game. I think in the other games it was like a healthy amount of gold. Like not a ton of gold, but like a reasonable, a playable amount. But there was definitely games where they were just like, hands aren't lining up, my opponent's pressuring me in certain ways. I made 0 gold this game.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if you see a playset of Sync Belows in Gravy just for hand filtering to get to your gold generators faster.
Yeah.
Or Fate Foreseen or something similar, because also Fate Foreseen is kind of funny in that deck. Or both, in all honesty. You could see Gravy become a very grindy deck compared to the aggro that he is now, which
start putting in 3
could be
whalers.
Fine. I don't know if you would put 3 in, but I think you would start seeing Whaler in other matchups. But that also gets hard to do in certain matchups just because it is so resource intensive.
I think they're both still
that being said,
decks, but they're different. The meta feels...
No, I think everything just got knocked down half a tier. Like, actually, like half a tier. And I think there's now, like, probably 8 decks you have to be checking going into this CC season before seeing Super Slam.
I don't want to check... Yeah. On a personal level, I don't want to check Earth decks.
That's fair.
Just me, so... Just me and my class. But...
Yeah.
Is there anything else we were going to talk about? Or is there any more? Let's see, what else was banned? Because we had the hat banned.
I saw somebody pop into the waiting room there for a second.
Verdance's head was shot. Yeah, we can't pull you on air for a mic check if you're not in the waiting room, by the way. But yeah.
I saw him there for only like a second.
Oh, okay. But that's also fine.
Taylor.
And so the... what was I saying? Yeah, Verdance's head got shot, and...
Yep, apparently.
Apparently. And...
That was a line that you can drop.
I love it. I think that's hilarious. And then, Germany got unbanned. 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 And then, Germany
That wasn't what was holding Florian back.
Florian's biggest fans cheered a little bit. All 10 of them.
Oh, God. Like, so many... It's really interesting, like, the way all of this is, like, lined up, because, like, people have been saying, like, you wouldn't ban 6 Tipple out of the deck if you tested with 9 Tipple and thought that was the way the deck was supposed to be built. And I think the Germinate ban is another point in favor of that.
Oh.
Because having all the Tipples it's much easier to develop that sort of end turn where you just 25 somebody, make 2 allies, they never get to clear them, you just lock them out.
Yes.
But why did Germinate need to get banned if Gravy can just do that?
They didn't.
And if Gravy wasn't doing that, and he was achieving a pseudo fatigue end state where he could just deterministically beat Gravies because they're not on the Tipple engine and have 10 extra gold in their deck, then
you're making a solid point.
I didn't think about that until just now, but that looks like another thing where it's like, because they just said that like there was a card in High Seas that made Germinate like super defensive Florian a really oppressive thing, because it was Everbloom, which you just put Germinate on the bottom of your deck with.
Yeah.
Which never was a thing? That wouldn't have mattered. Florian wasn't doing anything.
True.
But if their Gravy decks were slower and didn't have that 8 gold endgame of draw 10 cards, play double last ditch effort into Whaler Swing, go away.
No, yeah, that's a good point. I guess
is that why Germinate was banned?
I guess to be more clear, like there is I don't want to say rumor, but there's like this concept going around where people are like, maybe LSS didn't know that 9 Tipple Gravy
9 Tipple. It was not the design that they had in testing, which would be the comparison that Runaways made was 9 bonds. Was not tested for Zen.
Yes, correct.
And had to be just completely banned.
Mm-hmm.
And Zen was still a real deck, probably fairly similar to what LSS was testing.
I wonder if LSS are going to go to the testing tables for future decks, and they're going to have memes about, we got to test 9 of this because the players are going to be hell-bent on doing it.
They need to push their boundaries a little more.
I just imagine them just almost like a meme. They're like, these stupid players are going to put 9 of everything in their deck and just try to force it.
When you give Ninja blue 2 for 8 or 0 for 8s with go again, yellow 0 for 7s with go again, and blue 0 for 6s with go again.
Mm-hmm.
We had this when we were testing. When Zen first came out, people were like, well, what if we didn't put bonds in the deck? What does the deck look like? I was like, Ninja's just... The best thing you can do in Ninja is Bonds of Ancestry.
Yes.
And the best thing you can do in Gravy is just 9 Golden Tipple.
Yeah.
This is what we've seen since Brody put that list out from Battle Hardened Vegas.
Yeah.
When he, I think, just went fully undefeated in that event. Or maybe he X1 Swiss or something. But he did that, and every Gravy list since then has been 9 Tipple. Because it's just the best thing you can be doing. Because it does everything the deck wants. Yeah. It does everything. It breaks hook. It is
interesting because typically when you think of cards that it does everything you want in the deck, those cards are the Majestics, right?
Yes, they're 3-ofs. That's Chart the High Seas.
Yes, Chart the High Seas does everything you want. It makes gold. Yes. It makes pitch. It puts a blue in your graveyard. It replaces
It puts a blue in your graveyard. It puts an ally in your graveyard. It makes gold, making hook free, and it then becomes a pitch card again.
Other Tipple. That doesn't deal damage. Tipple deals damage.
It's better Belittle. It's the best Belittle they've ever printed.
There was
your odds of hitting with it were so high too.
There's a couple of charts that I saw where it was 2 blues, and they're like, I don't hate this.
That's fine.
Yeah.
This is just a blue pitch now.
Completely playable.
Yeah, it just cycled itself into my pitch zone.
A blue pitch that also went to my graveyard.
Yeah.
The other card that was banned was Talk a Big Game. which I don't have a lot of game to talk about that very big. Was preemptively banned.
I can't say I'm totally surprised that there's a way to break this in Super Slam.
Would be funny if there was a way to break this in LL.
I mean, there's probably a deck that works with that. So the funny way to do this is bully tactics, which is just the hand. 3. Yeah, 3 for 3. You intimidate their whole hand if you have one other intimidate, and then what happens is you pump the thing to like 12, and you say talk a big game 6 to account for armor, and you get 6 mites, and then you play a talk a big game the next turn, but you name 9.
Yes.
Because the first one is feeding the second one.
Yes.
And then you get 9. And then you find the third one and you name 15. And then that one's
only a 3-card hand as opposed to all the pump and preparation to the previous one.
Yes.
It could be
but you're doing this in Lyeth because you're a Guardian and Talk a Big Game is free to run in that deck. And might tokens are the best way for you to gain power in that deck. Like, you're going to pump something to 12 on the first one and name 6. Like that's what I think from what we have so far.
I've
that's where I can see Talk a Big Game being good.
I believe that. Also, I think it's probably very reasonable in the revered Tough Nut. I was just gonna say the Revered Brute. I think it is fine as an extra blue in that deck.
Yeah, Tough Nut. You just like do that double barraging rock. That's a fucking annoying.
Yeah, that's annoying.
You could if you could triple barraging. Annoying. Yeah, if you could triple barraging with one from Arsenal or one of these pieces from Arsenal, you're just going plus 12 on this card.
Yeah,
and you'd never lose the value on barragings. And rock is 7.
Hey, can't
so you're gonna get you're gonna get 14 mites, and that's just too much. So there are definitely ways that you can break this, and some of them are doable now. You can play this in Rhinar with Alpha Rampage, and you go talk a big game barraging Alpha Rampage, and that's still a really obnoxious number to deal with. But that's a lot more setup potentially than I think what we might be seeing.
Yeah,
is what this ban indicates.
Yeah,
but. If there's going to be a set to do it, it'll be this, considering they're messing around with intellect too.
Yeah, I think
give this to a 5 intellect hero.
Yeah,
see what happens.
When you're doing something when you're messing with intellect for the first time and then throwing it out to the masses, I think it's completely fine to be extra safe more than anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. The only other thing is Marina was talking about the ProQuest numbers. There's going to be currently there's about 600 events, 40 are LL, which is less than 10%.
Yes. Yes. It's about 1/15th or something like that is the number.
Dang.
So 6.5%, 6.6 repeating.
I was kind of hoping there'd be a lot more. I mean, I'm not opposed to playing CC, but
yeah, I am a little disheartened to see the number that low. I don't think it's that big a surprise, though. We have seen in the past a lot of people will rotate out of the game when they're hero LLs, and that has become less common as time has gone on.
Actually, this map is hilarious because there's one in Japan, for LL. One in Korea, one in the Philippines.
Notice where the game has just shown up in the last year and how many LL events are in those countries.
Yeah.
We have had Flesh and Blood in Japan for a year, and there's one event. Korea, there's one event. Australia, there's only one. That is a bit of a surprise. But that tells me that there is an entirely new audience in Australia for Flesh and Blood compared to the original crowd that would have started in the WTR Arc Crew era. One event in Brazil.
But it's just extra funny to me to just see the entirety of the continent of South America. There is one LL event.
Yes.
Same with Australia,
and like
right? Like
the U.S., it's not too surprising. There's 3 in Colorado, which
that's
like
a
the
lot in
Colorado scene is
Colorado.
like the Colorado scene is like pretty active, from what I can tell, actually. And then Europe looks pretty diverse and
You're
good.
hand making this? Oh, I appreciate that. I didn't realize that. This is super
Oh,
cool.
Jesus.
They're just putting them all in for us. Wow, this is actually super cool. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I thought this was just something that like auto-generated. Holy. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
There is one in Hawaii.
Yeah,
you want to fly there for a PQ?
Play the game, see the world. Wow, okay. There's so many more red dots in the for the CC. I mean, obviously, right? There's going to be more than, you know. Wow.
Is this like only the US too? Oh, okay.
Well, there's
got it.
There's gonna be several
tired after
in
did the Western Hemisphere. Yep.
Hawaii's gonna get some.
Yeah.
There's a game in Iceland.
No.
Let's go.
No, I'm not surprised by this at all.
Fair enough.
I think it's something that's going to take time, and I think Worlds is trying to help that. But it's not like.
I think so. They put. I think your average Flesh and Blood player have a lot of trepidation and inexperience with LL, and it's kind of. They say it's kind of a self-maintained cycle where the medium to casual players don't really like LL simply because they don't play it enough to learn it.
Yep.
And then they don't give us enough events for us to play it and learn it.
Yeah, I believe Wyatt would call them cowards, to put it mildly. He might use a different word.
He might use a stronger
but
word.
like, if we're talking about at the casual level, I do think that LL is a much wider format than at the competitive level. Just because like you get access to all the broken stuff.
Yeah.
You can go play Syndra and LL and go Flick Knives, Blood Splattered Vest, play Toma Firebrand.
You can, yes.
You can go Ignite, Hold Priority, Crack Fealty, play Art of War for free off the Ignite trigger.
Yes.
Like
I think it's just interesting because I think it's just interesting because if I was going to introduce someone to LL, it would definitely be at a kitchen table, right? It's like,
yes,
you're gonna lose and it's gonna be funny, and then
these
we
are
can actually.
We're gonna. I don't know if I would play a game with them. I would actually just sit them down and goldfish like Skeleta Visceri, and just be like, I'm just gonna do the funny thing, and I'm gonna show you the funny thing, and then I'm gonna show you another funny thing across from you doing that.
You used to play Aurora, and you kind of had fun with that, but watch me do the funny thing in this other room, Blade.
Here's Mordred swarming, Revel, Skeleta, Sonata Arcanics. Hit.
The goal is, I do this every game. Not like, on the pop-off games. Like, every game this happens.
Yeah, this is not a high roll. This is my average.
It's like... That would be the way I'd want to introduce people to LL. I wish it was pushed more like an armory skirmish level. I know it was in skirmishes, but like...
they still are letting stores choose the format they want, which is correct for the audience of the game. They don't have enough players to say, these 2 stores in this city are going to do CC, and this one is going to do LL. They can't do that yet.
ProQuest coming up in like a month or 2, that's LL... The armories might shift to LL so that people practice and like get prepped for it.
Yes, but I don't know what happens to attendance.
True.
Does that end up killing your armories?
I mean, I feel like that's probably something the store should work out with the players, right? It's not like an independent
So what do the players end up choosing?
What? They're not going to play their ProQuest?
They just choose to play CC instead.
Cowards. Play LL.
There
LL's
it
a
is.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. I think we've covered everything pretty much that we were going to cover tonight.
I think we should quickly address that message in the chat.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
So Sloop Dupe has posted somewhere in a Discord that he was getting one of the 5K grants for the content creators.
Mm-hmm.
He has definitely made some problematic statements in the past. I only really know of one, which was around one of the spoiler seasons and some representation stuff, and he handled that situation very poorly. I don't actually know of any cases where he had been had said anything transphobic. He has said some
can only
stupid...
think of that same thing too.
Yeah, and this just might be I have missed it. It could entirely be that. Yeah. He has said some stupid shit in the past, for sure, and handled stuff very poorly in the past, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Would he have also been my pick to get one of the grants? Not necessarily, but I haven't seen any of that. That's all I have on that.
Yeah,
in all honesty,
I don't have a lot to add to this.
I know a lot of people in that community have issues with him. I know that.
Yeah.
But I genuinely have not seen
and
that stuff beyond the one issue.
And it's just we're not defending anything, we're just saying
no. This is pure ignorance.
We just don't know.
Yeah, Ash, I think I saw you. Therese Nielsen. No, she's pretty cute. Not. Got it. I did not know that, and I would have missed that.
Yeah, same.
Got it. Okay.
There's
good to know.
I don't know.
That's a little. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That's a nope.
That's a nope. But
that's a nope. All right.
And on that bombshell.
Yep.
We'll head to the outro, I guess.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this, a good little podcast listener or on YouTube, we really appreciate you and we love you for that. But you could hear our less filtered thoughts in a few seconds if you listen to us live. So we do this live every Thursdays at 8 p.m. And before I do a little bit of something Flesh and Blood related while we talk prepping for the show, and then also we talk a little bit afterwards to the people who are in the chat, and we're probably going to talk more about this after. So, but I think that wraps it up. Remember to go check out our merch at the tablepit-shop.fourthwall.com, where you can get t-shirts that say things like
Spectre will continue until morale improves.
Yes. Which is already seen. There's several people have bought that shirt.
A number of sales and an appearance on the AGE stream.
Yes, that was super cool. And then if you want to help make this stream look nicer and help us get supplies for our project videos, you can support us at patreon.com/thetablepit, where we were able to get so many supplies for the basement. We were also able to help poor Wyatt get a cable for his get a USB cable for his camera, so now his camera works.
Jesus Christ, boy.
Kevin, do you have any shout outs?
Not at the moment, but next week I probably will.
Let's go. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We do this every Thursday. We have no blocks at Chill Talishar stream, where we do and sometimes don't block.
Mostly don't.
Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. And then we also have the design table, a Chill Fab themed art show at 1 p.m. inconsistently on Saturdays. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.